Told him I ain't selling it for nothing less than lavish.
No, come on, man.
Draco made a hit with this one.
Yeah, and Jazzy had no chill with this hun floating. I'm hoping there's no breaks in this run potent. I'm chosen, this is not a diss song. Hey family, welcome back. Y'all seen more than 2 videos say what's up, what's up, what's up. If y'all new here, welcome to the channel. It's your girl Jazzy. I done made it for another day. I feel high-key tired. Today was a lot of energy used, and today I'm really starting to see the power of manifestation, like whether it be through physical material aspects or just in mindset and just how it manifests into your reality. We're gonna go more into that, but before I get into that, I wanted to tell you guys that today has been the first day we're recording my videos that I had to force myself to like get out and be like, man, I almost didn't record a video, y'all. Almost didn't. And I was like, nah, I gotta remember what I do and what I do it for. How I come up with this shit up in the studio. Hey. Nah, but yeah, for real, I really had to remember that it's a principle of one day, capturing these days that I don't want to necessarily express are just as significant as the positive days, because ain't no telling what may happen tomorrow. A lot of things unfolded today. I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of things to gain towards, but what's most important is making sure that I'm in a stable mindset so that I can continue to manifest things that I desire. Long story short, y'all, I have another opportunity to make some cash, and that's definitely the motive, because in the next couple of months, I definitely will be needing it. But it's so strange because I don't remember even applying for this opportunity. Not saying I didn't, it's just because I put out so many things that I would have expected to get a reply on other things before this opportunity. But this opportunity, it could work. And I'm hoping that it does, because I only have time for positive manifestations, things that's going to take me to the necessary next step. And yeah, through that, I realized that it's all in control of me. Opportunities of just expanding out of what I'm usually doing or used to doing is in now. I'm starting to see that because I like stability, especially financially. So I think that becoming out of the comfort zone and expanding allowed a new realm for me, because all the other options of what I would have been used to, not saying it's not an option, but it's not an option. Like, I can see energetically that I've outgrown that phase. So even universe is telling me, yeah, try something more stimulating. That don't mean it has to be for long, but just push yourself to a new dynamic of things that you might not be accustomed to, because it's for a reason. And that's all I say for right now. How y'all doing? I hope when you get to my video, you're in a positive mind frame. If you're not, I hope by the end of this video you are, because I've been feeling a lot of good energy. I'm feeling a lot of people getting their shit together. I'm feeling like even if you may be a little tired, I ain't gonna lie, I haven't seen a lot of ambulances though. I haven't seen like a lot of fire trucks, a lot of things that let me know that even though I'm okay, and the most I can complain about is the fact that it's being hot. There's some people out here, like, you know what I'm saying? So if you living peacefully and you see my video and things that you're complaining about is things that you have no control over, or things that you do have control over and that are shifting out, just be grateful for the transition of being able to get out of anything that may be not aligned to you, because a lot of people are stuck in circumstances that are not aligned to them, and I don't necessarily want to focus on them because I don't feel like that's in my message to talk about. But everybody has insight. Everybody have, like, I like to say that I don't really feel sorry for anyone, because everyone has insight and reasoning before they decide to make any decision. But free will, you have to respect someone's choice of free will. You have to respect what someone thinks is best for them. And sometimes even with myself, I might not necessarily see that until the last minute. So who am I to try to tell somebody or convince somebody what is best for me when I'm still developing that from the universe? Don't let nobody tell you what's best for you, though. As you're developing that from the universe, trust your intuition. Trust that the universe is going to tell you when and where to go. I'm using a lot of references, y'all. If y'all don't know, then y'all need to go to end up in Black Twitter or some shit like that. I don't even have a Twitter, but I am definitely peeping what's popping off in the social media games. I ain't that old. Okay, we got a lot of cards. But I love this card. I never pulled this one. This one was on the bottom. You're just gonna use this because as I'm shuffling, I even love the way that I'm shuffling. And I remember one time I was shuffling on two days ago, and I didn't even pull a card necessarily because, or I think I had to just pull a random card, but I just decided to just speak what was on my intuition because when I was shuffling the cards, it was literally everything flying out, and even now it's flying out in multiple cards, which we'll talk about. But what I will say is when I was shuffling, y'all kind of got a gist of it. It was more together. So that in myself is, to me, is feeling like not stagnant, but it's also a vibration of things coming together. To me, that's how I look at it. Things are so symbolic, and I feel like how I choose to see it is very significant. So we have out of the darkness, light is born. Ooh, this is a new card I never pulled either. But I love that. I love that. You said hopeful heart, see her sign. Number 44. I've been seeing 44 a lot. Then we have this one, which progress on a path. I love that. So what I see literally in the way that it fell out is a whole message to me. So it's the guardian of the Akmukha, which to me looks like wisdom because you got those owls there on both sides, and these owls got their eyes open. They are not asleep, but her eyes are closed. But I know y'all see that. Her eyes are still open. So that's someone of deep insight. And they're saying, out of darkness, light is born. And they say a hopeful heart, see her sign, and progress on the path. So that's to reiterate kind of what I was talking about. And it's funny how I put this one, out of the darkness, the light is born, because I can use that in two forms of symbolism. Well, for one, I would say that just me, I say often that I'm a light being, but I come from the dark. Like I come from that dark ether, and I know that's why I will return. Not saying that I won't have a life outside of my life now, but in that dark ether, that is everything. That's where you can create. That's where we was literally created from, especially Black people. But the energy and substance was made from the darkness. Like when they say the Big Bang, what was here before the Big Bang? That darkness, and through that creation of expansion and just mass, it was cultivating new things. Today I saw something on Instagram on how we was just conceived, and it's so special because sometimes you forget that you was literally in darkness in your mama belly, but even before you went to that form of darkness and created, you was, it was a challenge. It was hundreds of other sperm cells that could have made it to the light, but you made it out of that darkness. You were progressive, you were expansive, you created from no source. So, and I mean, obviously people can say the source was your mom belly or the source was your, but you even getting them together. Like me, for example, my parents was on their way, out of the relationship, and I said, one more kid, please, one more kid. My mama was just as shocked as my dad, but I wasn't. I said, you know what, I like the way y'all look together. I want to come together with a sharp face, but a Haitian bloodline, because y'all know Haitian people don't look like me. Shout out to my Haitian people though, but I want to have a little sharpness, a little. I ain't hate. Listen, don't take it personal, y'all. Listen, that was just my own signature. I came out in a way where I knew the depths, but also the physical perceptions, and I really truly believe that I picked my parents. So That's a form of coming out of darkness, but also like the darkness that could make you feel like you shouldn't express. Because when I woke up, I'm so tired. Even when I started setting up the video, I feel like the tiredness behind my eyes, but and it could have stopped me from expressing, but and still I was able to tell y'all exactly what's still going on, and that lightness and that expression is significant. So it's either that or also for you. A lot of these cards don't be just for me. If y'all coming out of a dark time like me, man, I'm definitely looking forward to more abundance. I'm definitely looking forward to more alignment, to where I don't have to be in a place where I feel like I'm unaligned because I have to do what I have to do. I want to feel like everywhere I go, God put me there to do what I need to do. And I'm not saying that I don't feel that now, but I do feel the energy of having to kind of like be in a lion's den to get what I need to get. And although I'm still protected, it's still that energy of feeling like this is not my end destination, and this is not even the destination that is aligned with what it is that I'm doing. God just put me here for whatever reason, and I don't ever try to question those things. But even with that, I've been feeling the transition growing and more opportunities flowing from me just realizing that I don't have to be confined to any form of structure. I don't have to be held back from what I feel is called in my heart, because what's called in my heart is probably only called in my heart, and everyone around me is okay where they at. So I'm gonna read this card because this was the card that pulled out first. I've never seen this card before, but it's absolutely beautiful. I would say this is the state that I'm in, even down to resting. Like, I made a video called Rest to Create. That was a popular one. So that's actually a card that's in this deck. But this one here, I'm gonna look into this one and then we'll go further with that. We got 11 minutes already, y'all. Hey, it's been a while since I had a long video. Let's see how long I'm gonna be talking today. It says, no matter how compelling an experience of challenge, darkness, or defeat may seem, you have divine protection and the promise of safe passage through to the dawn. You will see and hear truth of the light. You shall not be alone on this journey. Soul guides now help you find your true north. If you've been proceeding along a dangerous path, even unknowingly, Puro will navigate you safely away from evil and ill wishing, guiding you back to your highest purpose and sacred path. And since this told me this, I don't really like to talk about my personal life because I don't feel animosity towards people. But I recognize animosity. And I feel like older versions of myself and the insecure forms of myself made me think that I was had a form of envious, jealous, or competitive energy towards other people. So I definitely align with that. But it's funny, you remember I said Lion's Den? It's more than just a job, but energetically, the Lions Den is being in Houston. Unfortunately, it could have been being in Miami. It could have been being in Salt Lake City, because the Lions Den to me is the Babylonian aspect. Gas is like $5, bro. When I came to Houston in January, gas was like almost $3. So now, just 6 months later, gas is $5. To me, that sounds like a dangerous, evil, ill intent thing trying to stun on where I'm going and just kind of slowing me down from actually going where I need to go. And all these things are happening. All of these things are signs. So I know that God has always protected me. I've seen myself come out of situations where somebody else doing what I did would lose their job, or somebody else doing what I'm doing probably would lose their home, or somebody doing what I'm doing would lose their lover. And I see God protect me from all forms of negative things that don't align with what God knows I desire and what I deserve. So it's a beautiful place to be. But I tell you, like, it's because I don't carry certain vibrations. It's impossible for negative things to happen to a person that don't want to be negative about, especially other people. Not saying you don't have negative thoughts in your head, but in my head, when I think those negative thoughts, I feel like, oh, fuck that. Nah, I'm gonna change that. Or one thing I like to do is I like to watch like taboo things of like, oh my God, like Snapped, or like social experiment type vibrations where you see somebody do something you never expected, because it's good to know. But even in that, I expand it to a positive vibration where even if a soul lost their life, thank you, soul, for bringing to me your story so I could be more knowledgeable, so that if I see this, if I'm a healer, or if I'm really out here talking physically and having conversations through, whether it be one-on-one or just from a conversation of a whole mass of people. And then after I meet a person dealing with circumstances, I would tell you, and I can see the signs, because now I'm deeper embodying an earth angel vessel. So definitely gonna progress on that path. Definitely. And you see, the intuition is deeper than just human connection. That intuition is with animals. And it's so funny because I know y'all seen that meme of that, like, that gorilla, like, pulling that guy in, you know. And it's so funny because I saw people probably saw that as, oh, it's just funny, like this man was trying to play with a gorilla and the gorilla is upset. But to me, I saw it deeper than that, because I'm an earth angel. I saw it as this man was antagonizing this gorilla, and this gorilla made it a point to let you know that I'm just as consciously aware of what you're doing, and I've seen this before, and you're not gonna try me. I have a whole persona that is not submissive, even when you think I'm chilling. And you know, he did a little trick where he was like not paying attention. He grabbed that sucker, and he wasn't letting go. He don't care if somebody was trying to help. He grabbing that sucker and saying, "I'm not the one to try." Yeah, that's the vibe. That's the vibe. Because these connections and the things that we seeing and instilling, I'm not gonna be the one to try, because I already done seen this around my town. I done seen this around my ways, and God has already done seen these stories and it played out. I'm not gonna be the one that's gonna be falling for them energy signatures that's gonna stop me on my path. I'm protected, and that protection is on a spiritual level, but it's protection from just awareness. And it brings me back to this first picture that popped up. So shout out to the protection, shout out to the wisdom, shout out to the other ether energies that are assisting with me progressing, because it's beyond me. It's beyond me to want to have that energy to make videos. And I'm so happy, because out of the darkness light is born. It's renewing. It's a knowing when I can actually feel comfortable enough to put my stories out there, and regardless of if it's perfect or not, actually see you guys. I mean, you guys can actually see how I progress through it. And yeah, man, I definitely am seeing the signs of how I'm progressing and growing out of even just this element of um, restriction and developing into a more capitalistic form of it. So we're gonna definitely be keeping y'all updated daily, and only so much I can tell. But when I'm out of this phase, maybe I'll be more comfortable to talk about exactly what it was. The story and objective of today is for all y'all earth angels. We are all reflecting similar energies, and listen, you gotta see the signs. See the signs. Stay in tuned. Listen, almost all of these eyes on these animals on these spiritual beings are closed. The eyes of the animals may be open, but it's a deep intuitive. This is deeper than just what you're seeing at this point. It's how are you feeling? Do y'all feel that good energy coming in? Because I embrace it. Even with the negative coming in, bro, I feel that karma coming in. I feel the reassurance that if you're doing something, you're going to get rewarded for that coming in. And beyond that, before I go, y'all, I just feel like it's someone that don't know how easy it would be to embrace what you desire. Sometimes it may be uncomfortable. Sometimes you have to do things, like I said, that you might not even expect yourself to do. But don't hold yourself back to what you're used to in these times, especially if you know it's not giving you what you want, or it's never going to give you what you want. Expand out. See what the options are. Just see what the options are. And I don't mean going looking for another lover. I know other shit, like, nah, bro. If you got someone that treats you right, you don't need to look for no other options. But if you're in a place of knowing that something is not fitting, seek those other options. I'm telling you from experience that, bruh, it's a dark space, but I feel the lightness coming in because of my mindset and me believing that there's more out there for me to receive. So I'm impacting on that. I'm believing that, and I'm also moving as if that's already true. So, man, my inspiration to y'all, I'm gonna keep on doing that. I feel like it's been leading me in the right path. Nobody could tell me that right path but God and myself. And yeah, it's always gonna get more aligned, because now at this point I don't have to explain it to nobody else. Everybody else is already getting with the course naturally. It's a natural thing. Y'all, I'm finna go and get some other shit done, y'all. But I hope you guys gain at least one insight from this video. If not, I'll be back tomorrow. I hope to see you here. Maybe this message wasn't for you, but if it was, hey, get a girl a like. Let me know. I'll see y'all tomorrow.